Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Amtesh Ordo. Today, I'm going to be covering thoughts on Darth Maul. Now, before I go any further, yes, there is going to be spoilers from the recent movie Star Wars Solo, so bear with me on that. So, as you notice in this picture, obviously I don't own it, but in this picture you see Darth Maul. This is the Star Wars Rebels Maul, and like I said, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, please go watch the movie. Yes, Darth Maul is in Star Wars Solo. He's a leader of the Crimson Blood. Okay? So my thoughts on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes with having another couple of Mauls added. I feel like it'd be great to just go up 2 more Mauls and be done with Darth Maul as a character, unless they make some way offshoot variant, or they could always make the spider variant, but I don't like the idea of the spider variant. Maybe as an enemy, but not as a playable character. I just don't see it. But going back to this though, Star Wars Rebels Maul as well as now Star Wars Solo Maul basically have the same setup. They use this lightsaber. Of course, he has the cane in this one, where it didn't seem like he had the cane. He could have still had that cane in Solo, just he used the Force to take the lightsaber off the cane, bring it over, and, show the scene that he does when he tells Kira to come to Dathomir. So, but that's just, kind of thoughts there. But going back to it though, having a new Darth Maul in the game, I feel like it'd be great. I don't know if they would make this Darth Maul, this version of Darth Maul would be a actual Sith, because he doesn't seem like a Sith, but he could still be considered a Sith. But his leadership would be more towards Crimson Dawn, in a way. And maybe he also does have a small bit of synergy with Ezra. Maybe not, because he was trying to, later on down the road, he was trying to, recruit Ezra so he could call Ezra in to assist, or has a 50% chance to call Ezra in to assist. That'd be kind of cool. But, again, he didn't really synergize with Ezra, because, obviously, if you've seen the Rebels TV show episodes with Darth Maul in it, or Maul in this point, they don't really synergize, they're always on opposite ends after Maul reveals, what happens on the Malachor episode. So, but having this type of version of Maul would be kind of cool, like one-handed, double-bladed lightsaber instead of two-handed, because this handle's like, if you look at it, it's really, the handle's shorter than the other one. Yes, you could still use 2 hands, but it's a broken up version of a Inquisitor double-bladed lightsaber. Now, I do want to talk about another variant of Maul, but before I do, though, I want to finish up with this one, and that is this Maul. I'm so used to calling him Darth Maul, so bear with me on that. At this point, it is just Maul, but Darth Maul, between this and Rebels, could have a leadership if they decide to bring in Crimson Blood as a faction, because it is a faction. Like, they could eventually bring in the Hutt Cartel, which the Gamorrean Guard would actually be part of. And maybe the Mob Enforcer could be part of different of these factions. May actually have some use of reprints for those two. Or not reprints, reworks. Reprints, magic, haha. Anyways, but anyways, so yeah, that would be kind of a cool thing. So Maul has a leadership for the Crimson Blood, and if they actually, bring in the one that gets killed, that has the Mandalorian armor, even though a lot of times he's not considered Mandalorian. Oh, I'm going blank on his name. I apologize for that. But the one that dies in Solo, and Kira takes his ring and contacts Maul, he could be also a Crimson Blood leader, and then they have a bunch of different, guards and stuff to work with that faction. That'd be kind of cool. But now, the thing I would not see them doing with this Maul is making him a scoundrel, because he doesn't seem like a scoundrel. He's just a Sith, kind of doing what he was trained from Sidious. He did it in the Clone Wars, he's doing it again, and then of course after that he kind of failed. I guess the Empire does something between Solo and Rebels, and that's why he ends up on Malachor looking for weapons. That's kind of a speculation thing. But for the most part, having Maul, this variation of Maul, would be kind of cool. Just a basic, special, leader, and unique. Would he have a leadership towards Sith? Probably not. he would just probably have leadership towards maybe scoundrels and maybe, or he might just have maybe the Crimson Blood, but if not, he'd probably be doing a basic, a special, unique, maybe. So who knows on that one. The next one I want to talk about, wrong way, is this Maul. Yeah, it kind of is a kind of offshoot picture, I will say. Just found it online, so credit to the owner who made it, but a version, basically the Clone Wars version of Maul. I feel like a Clone Wars version of Maul would be great, because one, it can synergize with Savage Opress. Savage Opress needs some synergies towards Night Sisters and at least a version of Maul. And having the Darth Maul from Clone Wars synergize with him would make more sense than the Episode 1 version of Darth Maul. And so again, this one would be a basic, special, leader, and unique effect. So he would actually have some leadership towards Sith. Maybe he could also have some leadership towards Night Sisters. It wouldn't make sense though, but it'd be kind of cool. You never know. But also having it to where this Maul and then Savage gets a rework, or this Maul and then a rework of Savage gets some sort of synergy with Night Sisters a little bit. Just like the Savage helps cleanse Night Sisters. I still always say that would be kind of a cool effect. I don't know who would agree or disagree, but it makes sense to me that Savage would at least support Night Sisters in some way. And maybe he taunts if Talzin or Saj Ventress are critically hit, because he did work for them as well as Dooku, and then he worked for Maul at the end. So yes, he had more synergy with Sith, but he could have some synergy with Night Sisters in some ways. Like maybe the speed and stat bonuses, not the turn meter and all that kind of stuff, but this, or the plague effects, but just the speed and the potency of the offense from both Asajj and Mother Talzin's leaderships can still be applied to him, and then maybe even old Daka's, defense and health would also be applied. But, maybe something to, synergize with that. But going back to Maul, though, having this Maul, I feel like it'd be kind of cool. And they could always have the Maul be just a one lightsaber, and then his second lightsaber would be an AoE effect, and it would actually pull out the dark saber as the second one, or just the dark saber targets a single one, and it has a same effect as Sabine's dark saber attack, where they do 50%, or they could have it where he always has two lightsabers, and he has a 50% chance to inflict this defense down that's undispellable. So I feel like that could be a game changer for Maul. So. But like I said, Darth Maul having having two more Darth Mauls in this game. I have talked about him in the past. I felt like a villain's rise or something would be kind of a cool effect, because some people are theorizing that we could get a dark version of Anakin Skywalker, and we already have Commander Luke Skywalker and dark version of Anakin Skywalker. I think I said that. I don't know. Basically Darth Vader before suit. So maybe Anakin Skywalker, parentheses, Darth Vader. There you go. And that'd be the fall. A hero's fall for Anakin's story, so you'd have a 6 ability effect. And maybe they could have something similar to Maul, where they have a villain's rise for, both Mauls. Because obviously we're going to probably get another Rey, and then, of course, the black-suited Jedi Luke Skywalker version, probably in the next 2 to 5 years. But for the most part, having another, at least having an Anakin and a Darth Maul variant would be great, because we can have a Darth Maul, 6-abilitied character. That could, change some games. Of course, or change the game a bit. Of course, again, having 2 more Sith would probably do a lot of different things. We already have a Sith meta, so they probably would have to wait on that. They would probably have to wait on a Sith, after the die down, and once they create some teams that actually, 6 months down the road, they create some teams that actually counter Traya, the Triumvirate. But, it's always a thought. Or they'll probably just do, this Darth Maul is a Sith, but this one isn't, and it just, is a dark side user that may have a leadership towards Crimson Blood, or it's unique, kind of works with the Crimson Blood, has 2 uniques. I don't know. But yeah, that's what kind of my thoughts and opinions on Darth Maul or Maul in general. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Darth Maul. If you'd like to see a couple more versions of Maul in the game, because I personally would. And stay tuned for another video. I plan on doing some more videos, probably more next week. I may do one more this week, but most of them will be next week because I'm going to be out of town this weekend for family camping. Woohoo! Yeah! So, but again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and you guys have a wonderful day.